school kid, I performed in school plays, I used to do elocutions, I learned dance. So I was sort of exposed to performing arts at a very early age. My father is a painter, my mother a writer. So I did grow up with the arts. That was something that was all around me in some sense. Then I did street theatre just after school with Jannatya Manch, a group from Delhi which Safdar Hashmi had started. So I worked with him for almost 4 years. But at that time, the motivation wasn't so much to act as opposed to the issues that Janam was taking up, and it was just a new exposure for me. In some sense, I think that was like my political training more than my acting training. I did a play with Barry John, I did a play with M.K. Raina, I did a play with Habib Tanveer. So I was sort of dabbling with it more for the fun of the experience of it, where a group of people come together, you're telling a story, you rehearse, you find those little nuances. It was just a fun thing to do. Well, Choti Productions happened when, we got together. He had a business sense. I wanted to do something creative, and I thought if there is a way to take theatre, films and make it accessible to a lot more people. And Between the Lines was the first play, and it started because my son was 2 years old and I was juggling between so many different things. And I've been engaged with the gender issues and issues of women for so long, and I thought if my life is such chaotic, I'm juggling constantly. I was the chairperson of the Children's Film Society. I was just doing so many different things and I was finding it really difficult. And I thought I should do a play about the working woman's dilemma. Especially when you're seen as a serious actor, people think there must be some deep method, and they always ask me, so, what's your process, and give us some tips. And I was like, I wish I had one. The only role that I actually ended up preparing for, I never ended up doing it, and which was water. I shaved my hair, I used to go and spend time with all the widows in their ashrams and, understand what it is, how do they feel about their shorn head, or, the saris that they wear, they beg, and their stories and all of that, and I didn't end up doing it. Most of the characters that I've done are very real people. They're just so human, their emotions are universal. So you don't have to be that to understand how they think and feel. And at some level, you're just drawing it out of your own emotions. And we all have all those emotions, we have all those thoughts. We have anger, we have prejudice, we have love, we have compassion, we have empathy. All of that we have it, we just draw it out. So my process is, to be honest, nothing. But to young people, I would just say, be an observer of life. Don't think of life and art or acting or theatre as two separate things. Like, I'm going to, watch this actor and learn from that. When I watch a good film or a piece of theatre, I'm not watching as an actor at all. I'm watching as an audience. If the play or the film is really good, then I've forgotten everything. I'm in that story. I'm crying and sighing and laughing with that story and with those characters. How do we define theatre? Your definition of theatre might be different from mine. And even that definition is a constantly fluid thing. People are performing on the street, that's also theatre. People are performing in buses, that's theatre. There's Parsi theatre, where it's completely loud and singing and dancing and musical and very realistic and minimalistic. There is silence theatre where there's not a word. There is, dialogue heavy theatre. We tend to label theatre too much. In the sense, we try to put them in all these labels. Like I was also giving all these different names, and we compartmentalize it. And we don't have enough ways of learning from each other. We sometimes become like bit in a well, and then my exposure gets limited with what is available to me. So I think, how does one open one's horizon? How does one think out of the box? I want to believe that it's an evolving one. Why should it die? Theatre actually cannot die. It's been there for years in different forms. What is art? It's a reflection of our times. So the kind of theatre we produce now, it's a reflection of our times. So if you're not producing good theatre, part of the blame is because we're living in such times where everything, economics is guiding art, it's interfering with art. People are seeing art, theatre as a stepping stone to films, not seeing it for its sake. It doesn't pay enough money, so it attracts a certain kind of people. There are a whole lot of issues with theatre, but there are also people who just do it for the love of theatre.